Now, St. Luke was the author of the third gospel and the Acts of the Apostles. Now, the Acts are a rich account of the fledgling church after Jesus ascended into heaven. Acts gives us a detailed account of the ministry of St. Paul. We are assured in 2 Timothy number 4 that Luke was an eyewitness to the travels of Paul. Luke is the one who wrote the biography of St. Paul, if you will. Luke's story of Paul is filled with an overwhelming opposition and physical persecution. Luke was not one to sugarcoat the life of St. Paul, this biography that he wrote. He related a cascade of daunting opposition from his enemies and people he was close to. Right off, I think of Paul's opposition to St. Peter. Then remember his closeness to Barnabas. Well, Barnabas was the friend who called Paul from obscurity to become an evangelist. Barnabas traveled with Paul on his first missionary journey. But then, when Paul rejected Mark, who was a nephew of Barnabas, Paul and Barnabas separated, it seems, in less than amicable terms. Then we know, talking about this struggle with Paul, that Paul had opposition from certain Jews who felt that Paul was a blasphemer. These people turned a crowd against Paul and they stoned him to death, or so they thought. Thanks to Luke, this man we celebrate today, we have a picture of Paul that shows him constantly struggling in his attempt to bring Jesus to the world. The struggle is confirmed in today's reading from 2 Timothy. Listen to this. Demas, enamored of the present world, deserted me and went to Thessalonica. Crescens to Galatia, and Titus to Dalmatia. Luke is the only one with me. Get Mark to bring you with you, for he is helpful to me in the ministry. I have sent Tychicus to Ephesus. When you come, bring the cloak I left with Carpus in Troas, the papyrus rolls, and especially the parchments. Alexander, the coppersmith, did me a great deal of harm. The Lord will repay him according to his deeds. You too be on guard against him, for he has strongly resisted our preaching. Isn't that fascinating? Luke knew that sharing the good news of Jesus was filled with difficulties from friends and foes. His account, this writing account, this biography of Paul, gives us courage to continue to preach today despite opposition we receive from enemies and even those who are close to us. Lord, thank you for inspiring St. Luke to tell of your ministry and the struggles of the early church. May opposition never hold us back from calling people to your love.